What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and no plant symbolizes the holidays quite like the poinsettia. Also known as Noche Buena, more than 100 million of these plants are sold every year between Thanksgiving and Christmas alone. Now, this plant is from Mexico, and it was a shrub and a medicinal herb. But the reason that it turned into the symbol of the holidays was because it got a grand makeover right here in Los Angeles. Let's get into it. German immigrant Paul Eck began cultivating poinsettias on his farm in Eagle Rock in 1909. But when he arrived with his young family to the United States in 1902, they were initially on their way to Fiji to open a health spa after experimenting with a vegetarian sanitarium in Germany before coming to the United States. It was on that small farm in Eagle Rock where Eck had the idea to sell poinsettias not as cut flowers as they traditionally had been, but as potted plants. And the poinsettia itself is named after Joel Roberts Poinsett, the first United States ambassador to Mexico, where the plant is native. Poinsett saw this winter flowering shrub as part of a nativity scene in Tasco, Mexico, and he sent cuttings back to the United States. Now, the shrub has a long and storied history in Mexico, dating back to the Aztecs, who called the crimson plant Quetzalcoatl. The plant represented purity, and the Aztecs used the plant for its red dye and as a medicine for fever. In Mexico today, the plant is known as Flor de Noche Buena, and before it was renamed by botanists, it was known in the United States as painted leaf or Mexican fire plant. But back to Eck and his poinsettia farm in Eagle Rock. He began selling the flowers along Hollywood's famed Sunset Boulevard, and the flowers, in their potted form, started to catch on. When Albert passed away, his son Paul Eck Sr. took over the business, and he licensed technology from a German flower breeder, which enabled him to graft poinsettia plants to change their characteristics, and this is what made the poinsettia blossom. The poinsettia made the flowers more robust, more red, and more hardy, and they were bushier and more attractive than poinsettias that were sold by other people. And though the Eck family moved the headquarters down to Encinitas near San Diego, they kept growing plants in packing houses in Hollywood and Westwood, and the cities of Beverly Hills and Westwood would actually pay them to plant the colorful poinsettias to add a pop of color to the land. The Eck family kept improving technology, made them last longer, even for people with brown thumbs. And again, selling them as potted plants enabled them to ship all across the United States and spread the poinsettia's impact on Christmas and beyond. The Eck family was also very shrewd with their marketing. They would give free plants to women's magazines with Christmas spreads or to morning talk shows to decorate their sets with. Here are the poinsettias from the Eck family on the cover of TV Guide. Continued growing and growing until, again, 100 million of the plants are now sold every year in the United States. By 2012, there was no longer a presence of the Eck family of poinsettias in Los Angeles, and they sold their ranch down in Encinitas to a Dutch company. So the poinsettia is native to Mexico, Noche Buena, but it really blossomed due to a makeover that it received right here in Los Angeles. All right, LA, it's been a minute.